Good afternoon, y'all. Let me get some water. Hold on. Good morning, everybody. It's okay. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Afternoon, good morning, depending on where you at. We going door knocking today. And hello. Who know what door knocking is? Hi, Sarah. Good morning to everybody. I'm looking for my eyeballs. Here they go. I'm like, I can't see. And then I done broke the thing off, so it's making them be weird. Baby, listen. I'm about to take a million of them pairs y'all done sent me and go and give me some more glasses. That's what I'm gonna do. Hey, you was on my mind this morning. So, yeah. I said, it's crazy because, of course, I said we wasn't going, but I'm like, so, so can I tell y'all what I be feeling like sometimes? You read the story in the Bible where God would have a prophet go and say something and then leave, and then he'll get them halfway up, like to wherever else they going, and turn them around and say, "Now go say the opposite of what I said." You just told me that everybody over here was gonna die. He said, "Yeah, I changed my mind. Now go back and tell them." But they gonna look at me like I'm crazy. Hey, Queen. Hey, everybody. You hear me? You said you talk about me, girl. Do you have you ever had to? Right? You didn't just stood on top of the highest mountain you can and said what he told you the first time, and then turn around and he said, "All right, they changed their mind. Go back and tell them something else. You just had me tell them that you about to rain down hellfire and open up the ground." He said, "Yeah, I know, but just go back and tell them, okay, I heard them." He said, "No, because you said I was thinking about you." Oh, sorry, Sarah this morning. Now I be thinking about all y'all, but she had just came across my mind this morning. Are you okay? You said, "Yes, I got a new prescription. I got a stigma in both eyes now." Listen, girl. I be thinking about all of y'all though. That's why sometimes I just sit in my bed and do nothing for a minute. I be having to get my mind together. Okay, good. So I got my old lady shawl. Thank you. It's a little chilly in here. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, so I don't know if you're gonna need armor or what you're gonna need. To those of you, really quickly, um, I know two people got it. You two people came y'all. I'm reading y'all comments and trying to talk. Okay, so two people did their homework. Did anybody else do your fruit homework? Mr. Hardy, didn't I just say I think about all of y'all? I can't say I think about every single person every single day, but I think of us as a whole every day. And that's anybody that's a part of this community. Now, there are different times when God will put certain people on my mind, okay? But as a whole, I ask God to bless our community because I can't remember. I'm getting old now. Listen, I just asked God this morning to help my memory, honey, because it'd be a lot going on. Listen, you said, "Oh, I haven't seen one of those shows in a long time." You said, "I did. Mine just wasn't in class last night." All right. Well, first, let's take about 20 minutes. You good? Let's take about 20 minutes and tell me what you got out of the assignment. To those of you that did your five fruit homework and you actually went through and you looked it up, what did you learn? If you didn't do it, this don't apply to you. So you don't have to say you didn't do it. I said to the people that did, if you did your homework, what did you learn? What did you get? What revelation? Patience is a virtue, honey. Uh-oh. Did everybody get patience? You said that there is a certain time what to plant and harvest the fruit. Okay, that's good. What else y'all get? Some situations take time. Ooh. That everything is a process and God's timing is perfect. Ooh, it takes the right temperature, patience, and patience for growth to occur. Cause I be over here like it's my money and I want it now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You said that there are many different factors to life and making sure you have the nutrients to endure the storms. Ooh. Come on, family. I'm so proud of y'all. And do the work. Uh-oh. You said, I wasn't here for the homework, but it's resonating with me. Yes. So this is the thing, sister. You had to pick your favorite five of your favorite fruits. Like if you go to the store, them was your go-tos, not just because they cheap, but because you like them, right? And then you had to look into how long it takes to get uh, a yield from that, what it takes to grow it, what the growing conditions need to be like, and all of that. It's a very deep exercise. I was hoping it spoke to y'all because it make you think. Because again, we can just go to the store and buy the, we don't even got to go to the store now. You can get on your phone and order whatever groceries you want to your house. But we don't think about the work and the time that it took to get just that one fruit in your cart and in your basket and in your home. And so then we'll be mad at God because certain things haven't happened yet. Whole time it's still growing. It's still growing. You don't put no seed in the ground today and have an apple tree tomorrow. And as we learned yesterday, it take a long time. You said that just like the fruits, different areas of my life take different levels of growth or a different level of attention. Ooh, come on, babies. You said, and being rooted in my relationship with Jesus is important. Come on. You said, why you don't plant the fruit? You gotta nurture it. If not, it will wither and die. Is patient, love, self-control. You said to take care of a plant, to see the fruits of your labor. That part. Mm. How many of you felt a little guilty for complaining because things aren't quick? You said, in total transparency, after the third fruit, the theme had become abundantly clear. You did? You said, and I even tried to cheat and buy the fast growing trees. Petty. That will make the growing condition not favorable even for a fast growing tree. Like you gonna wait for that, girl. Okay. Who remembers when my car went away? Y'all remember this? I went for Easter, Ishtar holiday. Yeah. I wanted to spend time with my grandkids for the holiday. I told y'all right before that, God spoke some things and he showed me some things on the way there. He had been saying one specific thing. And I was like, why? Well, why would that happen? And he was like, it's going to happen. And I said, but why would it? He didn't say nothing else. He said, I'm just telling you, get ready for this. Okay? I'm in that season right now. The one he told me about in January and February and March, my situation didn't happen till April. That's another season. He gave me, he was tilling the ground and prepping me from January to March. The situation happened April the 4th. April, May, June. Okay? That's a season. Okay? When I was at my daughter's house and God kept saying, Don't do a lot of talking. Even though you want to react, don't. Even though you could, don't. Now, did I cut up a couple times? Yes. But how I normally would have? No, I didn't. Okay? Because he let me know prior to that there were going to be some things that were changing in my growing season. So he was tilling the ground and making it soft for whatever seed he was getting ready to sow when he told me. When the thought came to my mind, be open because this is going to be a thing here shortly. There's something else that I need to plant in you, or I need to prune, or I need to water, or I need whatever it is to pick off the bugs and put some 7 powder on it or something. Because there might have been some things that you're unaware of that have crept in. And this situation that I'm getting ready to send you through, it's going to bring it out if it's in there. It's like pouring peroxide in an infected wound or salt water. Might sting, okay? But you don't even know that there is a predator or something that is around, a pest that is going to lay eggs that don't need to grow. It's crazy how God will warn you, and that's tilling the dirt. Because if you pay attention, every single thing that you go through sows different seeds into your life. And even if it's the same experience, there might be a different species of that same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like we talked about last night, there's all different types of watermelon. So maybe last time he sold a red one, maybe this time he want to sow an orange one, or whatever other color, or carrots. There's a number of different types of carrots and onions and potatoes. There's not just russet is not the only kind. And so to grow the rainbow potatoes, they grow really good up in Utah and Iowa, places where there's a lot of volcanic rock. Because volcanic rock and the conditions that are up there, they grow a different variety of potatoes and carrots and things like that. Because of what's in the soil, what's leached into the soil from the volcanic activity from a long time ago, and the buffaloes roaming out there and dropping a poop, and all of these different things, them eating only grass, and all of these things go into the vegetables and fruits that you grow up there. So it depends on where you are in the world. If whatever it is that you even trying to grow will even grow there. Some things, no matter how much you try to cultivate them in a certain climate or at a certain elevation, they won't grow. Some plants need a lot of sun. Some plants need low light. It's not always going to be your time to be in the spotlight. It ain't. First of all, the sun can damage it. It can dry out the dirt. It's a lot of different things. Sometimes you have to cover them to keep the moisture, all these different things. So sometimes we get upset or frustrated with God because we don't see it yet. He like, have you even asked what I'm growing this season? I'm not always growing potatoes. I'm not always growing kiwis. I'm not always growing carrots. Sometimes I'm growing guava or a banana, or I'm just raising the grass so that I can feed the buffalo and the cows and the chickens that are going to come to you. Because sometimes you're just a source of spiritual food for folks. Sometimes it's not going to be a physical thing that you are going to produce in their life. It is going to be words that will change their actions and their thoughts. But if you don't have the experience and you don't understand what God is growing in your life, when God brings the people to you that know, kind of have an idea, because you haven't taken the time to find out and you're just complaining about how grueling it is to be in a situation, then when they come, you can't give them nothing off your plate. You said, and sometimes what you did last year will need to be changed in the next year. It's not always the same. Come on. The right conditions, Mr. Hardy. Sometimes it isn't our season. I'm trying to tell you. Now y'all understand why I say I'm here as long as God allows me to be. Some people try to fight to stay in a place God don't want them to. You said, and what you fail to do in one season will be reaped and felt in the next season. Come on. In real life. In real life. Because you won't see no produce. Yeah, you will not see a yield. You said, and you have to move things around to find the right place. Come on. Hard to accept when it's not your season, that's for sure. Of course. You said, I definitely understand that statement now. Listen. You said, I just flashed to my daughter's garden and the different plants that were abundant one year and were almost nothing in the next. Okay. Again, God talks a lot about agriculture. Can you tell me what we turn back into? What do we turn back into? Dirt. So how do you think what applies to the same thing that you came out of don't apply to you? The same thing that it takes to grow something out of the dirt, to grow something out of the dirt, the same parasites that can live in your garden can live in your body. The same worms that can live in your dirt can live right in literally in your gut, in your bloodstream. This reminds me of that plant class we had when we compared our body systems to the root systems of the plants. It's the same thing for the nourishment. T came in here last night and said if you put too much nitrogen, I think it is it nitrogen or nitrous oxide? One of them, whichever one of those. Too much of that in the soil for certain plants will kill them off. Well, it'll do that to your body too. They can give you too much nitrous at a dentist appointment and it'll stop your heart. Nitrogen, excuse me. Right. Okay? So the same thing that applies to what grows outside your window and in your house. You said, I'm dealing with that right now. I have too much nitrogen in my zucchini plant and it's not producing. Yep, everything has a fine balance. Okay. All right. So when you get time, pick your 5 favorite fruits. Fruits specifically. And then you can do vegetables later. But 5 fruits. And then see where those fruits apply to what's happening in your life. What do those plants need in order to grow? Is there a resting period, a waiting period, whatever else it is? Then you go and you find out how to balance out the nitrogen. You said your mind is amazing. I would never have thought about plant growth and compare it to life. Girl, Jesus said I'm the vine. Remember we talked about the gall and the abnormalities that come. Listen. Me and my cousin have a joke. I said, you're the like plant mom. I said, but I'm a plant mama too. I said, but my plants are human plants. Like her house is beautiful. She can take from the doctor's office, they be like, girl, yeah, she can snap one little twig, baby, and have a whole plant of beautiful. I mean, her house looks like a jungle. It's great. And here I am in my front. It's the desert. There's not one leaf anywhere that's green, I don't think. The plants outside and inside, they did. But guess what? When I come in here, guess what I get to see? My plants grow when I've been watering and watering. The fun thing for some of them, I didn't see no buds for a long time. And then one class, a little leaf peeked up out of there, and then another leaf, and then another leaf, and now the stalks are strong. Hello, hello. You said, I know it's beautiful. You said, if it's not too late for your area, try planting the corn with the zucchini. That's funny because she just planted some corn. You said, and without the right knowledge, you won't be able to apply wisdom to the right places. And the next thing you know, you're disappointed because your efforts didn't produce results. Come on now. In real life, Mari, and did. You said, oh, but you got the same exact setup. We just look different. Yes, it's right. You said it, Mari. In real, listen, and this is why. He said, I'm good at growing fruits and vegetables, but I can't keep a regular plant in my house for more than a month. This part. In real life. In real life. In real life. But get this. Most times, if you don't see what you wanted to see, it's probably because you planted the wrong fruit. You planted the wrong one. You planted out of season. Okay? It's a season and when you have to plant it. You can. You said, I'm one of your plants? That part. You said some soil situations have to be acidic for certain yields, and on the other, and you have a beautiful garden. Y'all, Mr. Hardy's garden looks like a paradise. Did y'all know that? Did you build that by yourself over the years? You said some plants need alkaline soil conditions to thrive. That it needs to be more acidic, so it's gonna burn more. This kind of reminds me of Jesus and the big tree. Y'all know how you go downtown or you go somewhere and they have a real flower garden. They got all the beautiful water and stones and all of this. That's how his backyard look. How many years it take you to do that? It's beautiful. You hear me? That only took 3 months? Are you serious? To build all of that and do all of that and do all of that, that only took 3 months. How long you been maintaining it? Gardens growing. Wow. Interesting. Y'all might want to get with Mr. Hardy. He seems to have a green thumb. Wow. Now 2 years. I was getting ready to say, wow. You need to post some videos of your garden because that's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, here we go. Cantaloupe. It says nearly 5 to 6 inches in diameter, weighing about 3 to 4 pounds each, with thick salmon-colored sweet flesh. Days to germinate, 7 to 14. Depth to sow, 1 inch. It tells you how deep to go, how long it's going to take for what is on the inside to be revealed on the outside. Seed spacing, 3 per hill. Row spacing, 4 to 6 feet. Days to harvest, 90 to 102. So if God planted a seed in you, What if it takes 7 to 14 years to germinate? No, I'm about to show you. There's abuse that can happen to a child and you don't see it until they about 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And that's when you start to see the results of the abuse. It's not always right away. No. I talked to a police officer years ago and he told me most people don't talk about their abuse until they're after they're 18 or close to it. Even if it happened when they were 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Young. My problem, I get anxious, don't want to wait that long for a plant to produce a fruit. Listen. Remember when I kept telling y'all I don't want to charge God foolishly? Who remembers me saying this? He telling me to wait, I'm going to just wait. He telling me to wait, I'm going to just wait. I don't like it. I don't like the way this feels. I was honest with y'all about everything that I was feeling. Y'all saw when I was angry. Y'all saw when I was disappointed. Y'all saw it. But I still kept saying I didn't want to charge God foolishly. Because he literally says, I can't only give you good. Every season is not a season that you are getting a yield. Hello? You said, I'm going to raise my hand because I was a whole adult when I started talking about the childhood abuse I experienced. Exactly. So, how many? You said, let me go get my stuff. Okay, I'm just saying. Each one of these here, I got cantaloupe, I got watermelon, squash, parsley, eggplant, some more spinach, and y'all know it's all kind of peppers. Every single one of these, hey Isabel, takes different, listen. Okay. So let me ask you a question, and we wasn't going to go all the way over here. We got somewhere we got to go, but evidently this is where we at today because I just felt all the hair on my legs stand up, and I got jeans on. Let me ask you a question. That seed that was sown into you, the seed of abuse, will you be honest about what it grew in your life? What did it grow? Fear. Promiscuity. Anger at first. Bitterness. Fear, rage, unforgiveness. Fear. Abandonment issues and people pleasing. Anger, always anger. Okay. Rejection, brokenness. Anger, rebellion, fear, doubt. Rejection and brokenness. All of the above. Okay. Panic, not feeling loved. Fear, bitterness, self-esteem issues. Anxiety, promiscuity too. Okay. Did it start right away or did some of that stuff not show up until later? Hurt, sadness, shame, fear, anxiety. Some later, some later. A lot of people pleasing and self-esteem issues showed up in adulthood. Okay. You said, I'm back from Mr. Stock and Mr. Hardy page. That part, you said it showed up later. Never thought people pleasing came from that until this class. Wow, yes. Lots of shame in your teens, mid-20s. Okay. Did you think that the right elements had to be in place in order for the abuse to take place? Remember, At the bottom of your assignment, it was what things would stunt the growth of this fruit? What things would cause it to die? What things would cause it to produce abnormal fruit around 17 when it started showing up? Later in life, honestly, it still lingers a bit now. Okay. Who remembers this? You wasn't only supposed to do the good growing seasons and stuff. At the bottom, you were supposed to list what it was that would cause you to get no yield. Too much water, too little water, too this, too that. Did y'all do that part as well? Or y'all skipped over that and just did the good stuff? I hope not. You did. Good job. Because when you look at your life, okay, okay. You said weather, sun. Thank you. I look at it. Weather, sun, soil conditions, and pests. So do you understand that those were the situations in your life? Overcrowding, not giving it the right nutrients to grow. Okay. Procrastination. Interesting. So when you think about, I did it and it was temperature controlled issues. Okay. Look at this. All of that stuff, okay, that you went through and up until whatever time was the bottom half of that list. The devil was trying to kill off the fruits of the Spirit for you. Anxiety breeds impatience, right? Doesn't it? You have too much anxiety. Anxiety can be good or bad, but if you have too, you would just hurry up and go do it and breeds distrust. Come on. Do you see? When you can't wait, you sure had me dumping spirits down my throat. Oh, okay. Think about this. All of the stuff that you looked at the bottom of your list, too much nitrogen, too much this, too much water, too much whatever. Hey, pumpkin. All of that affects your fruit of the Spirit. Understanding when it's time to plant and when it's time to rest the soil. One of the enemies, impatience or a stagnant behavior, yep, because it can stun people too and paralyze them as well, which is not grow. Some things grow up so fast and then guess what? They burn out. He said, and when things don't go as planned, anxiety shows its face for me. Right. Right. So I'm going to run to the restroom. I need y'all to keep working on that assignment. Okay? I do. And I need y'all to go as deep as you can into that assignment. You said, grubs in the dirt eating the roots and you can't tell from the top. Come on. Right. You said I keep adding different fruits to the list. Good job. I know. That's why I said, listen, I want y'all to do this assignment. That's why I really ain't I came back on last night for a minute, but I want y'all to get knee deep into this. I really do. Because I'm telling you, listen, you said, was it the one called, What Does It Need to Grow? I believe so, Sarah. You is the church secretary, girl. I mean, the school secretary. You keep the minutes. How you asking me and you supposed to be telling me which one was it, Sarah? I think so. He said I missed class. Can somebody tell me the assignment? You can rewind back a couple of minutes and I go through it a couple times. You were sick? Oh, okay. Sorry, I forgot. You said I gotta. It's okay. I'm sorry. I forgot you were sick. You said rolling up my sleeves and get my hands dirty in this study. Please do. And if you have a friend group or you whoever you talk to, right? Even if you're a boss, right? Or a teacher, this is a good exercise to do. If you have students, right? And some of them might not be getting it as fast as others. This is a good assignment to show them, hey, as long as you get it and as long as you do it, it's okay. You don't have to grow as fast as that one. You don't have to learn as fast as them as long as you get it. And we can see your progress, which is it's a product of what it is that they're trying to do. I didn't, you know. Okay. So please keep going with that. Because again, God is not only growing one thing in our lives, and He's continuing. You said 100% learning that. Listen, it's a real thing. Everything ain't gonna always be the same, and I believe I stress that here a lot. Everything is not always gonna be hunky dory, and it ain't. And this is why you can't worry about what people think about you, because they might not even understand what God. You might not even understand what God is trying to plant down on the inside of you. How many times you've been in a situation and it never makes sense until later? Because you didn't know that He was trying to plant long suffering or whatever else it is in you. You didn't know. You said, "Oh, it's revealing many aspects of the whole picture." Come on, you said, "I would want to catch you so I can do it with my students." Most people ask how I come up with these topics. I talk to them about. I say I attend. You said it's the school I attend daily. Oh shoot! High five! Y'all heard that? We be in the schools too. Oh, that's gonna be so cool. I think it's a good thing. Make the class garden, right? You said I love the garden studies, and we have to prune it and it may look less full for the time, but in the long run, you're more fruitful. Come on. You said, and then feel ungrateful for rushing through it and complaining. Come on. Okay, come on. When you said long suffering, I felt something. Come on, girl. Sister, do you remember me saying I used to be like, why do I gotta sit at home and read all day and just talk to people on the phone? Like people was out there living their life, and I just gotta be in the house. He set me down for good at about 32. And from 31 to 32, baby, all the way up until I met y'all, which was 41, I had to look out the window and watch people just living and doing and going and being. And then my life made no sense until I met y'all. And then it made perfect sense. I said, oh, okay. Because what do I do right now? Sit down and read books and look up words and talk to people on the phone every day, even when I'm not on here. I woke up to a call this morning. I was like, nope, I'm getting up. I almost peed on myself. You hear me? Oh, wait a minute. Just give me a minute. Let me get my life together. I'm trying to tell you. Listen, you don't know why God is making you not feel productive or whatever it is. You're being productive. You said, and they say hindsight is 2020. It is. You said, nope, it was the class from 2 days ago titled, What Does It Need to Grow? Okay. All right. So I'm gonna run to the restroom and get your pen and paper. I don't know what you're gonna need for this, what we get ready to do. I don't know if you're going to need armor. I don't know if you're going to need a pillow, the amber lambs, a drink of water. I don't know. But get whatever it is that you think you need. You said, well, that's been me since I came into the world. I'll be 25 August 1st. Hilarious. Oh, shoot. Uh-oh. You said Enoch calling me. I bet he is. Mm-mm. He always has you isolated. I believe it. Uh-uh. Don't do me. Us. Me and my dad. You might not. But we going door knocking. So either come to YouTube or go to the door knocking. When I come back, we going to door knock with this message. Do you hear me? Okay. So we're not going to be over here. But get your notebooks and stuff ready. Get your pen and paper. Get your pen and your paper. Get your pen and your paper. All right. You got your stuff. You got your stuff. All right, y'all. We about to go from over here. I love y'all. Y'all know where to find us. We door knocking. Y'all already know. Remember. Here we go. Excuse me. Shoot. Y'all think we should put them on to the assignment too? I think we should. I think we should put them on to the assignment. You think they could benefit from it? What you think? Yes. We'll put it over here too. Y'all think they could benefit? No? Yes? maybe. I can't believe it must not be that hot outside right now. Yes, all right, we'll tell them about it. Hey, y'all. Hola, hola. Happy Monday. What y'all doing over here? We came to visit y'all. We don't know if they gonna let us do what we supposed to do over here or not. We gonna see. Hey. We over here visiting y'all again. And we want y'all to work on an assignment that we worked on too. And we think y'all, Sarah said y'all benefit from it, so we gonna tell y'all about it over here as well. Mm-hmm. Hey, y'all. I don't know how I bent my glasses, but I did. Hola, hola. Hey, everybody. I got an assignment for y'all. Y'all open? We did an assignment on YouTube and Substack, and I want to share it with y'all. So if y'all want it, we gonna give it. It's called the 5 fruits. All right. So the assignment is, okay. I should wait a few minutes, huh? Don't be so in a rush to give it out because I want to get to this other stuff we about to do. That's why. But the assignment is, you have to pick your your favorite 5 fruits, okay? And you have to look up what goes into growing that fruit, how long it takes from seed to yield, what it yields, what needs to be in the soil in order to grow those fruits, and then also what things environmentally that would cause it to not grow, to not be fruitful, to not produce a yield. And so each fruit, you need to, how long it takes to grow, where is it best planted at, all of those different things. So that's the assignment. 5 fruits, no vegetables, 5 fruits, your favorite 5 fruits. Also, and look up the medicinal uses. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Look up hey sister, look up the medicinal uses for each fruit. Like what can they be used for health wise? Okay. So 5 fruits, look up how long it takes from seed to yield, what needs to be in the soil in order for that to grow, what do the weather conditions need to be like around said fruit, um, and then what pests and things like that, too much of whatever gas or whatever in the soil, what would that do to the reproduction of whatever it is that you're trying to plant? How long do you have to wait on it? And the reason that we're doing this is we want you to see. Well, I ain't gonna tell you what you need to see. I want you to see it for yourself, so I'm not gonna do that. I didn't do that for them either. So that's the assignment. 5 fruits. Pick your 5 and do a deep dive into what it takes to get that on your plate or in your hand. Okay? And I think it'll help you in life situations when we get really frustrated, anxious, and we always talking about how long something takes. That's because we live in a micromanaged world. You can, at the tip of your fingers, is whatever you want, right? So now that we got that assignment out, we're gonna work on today's. That was a couple of days ago, and people are still working on it. But from what we've learned, it's blessing some folks, and they're starting to see situations in their life a lot differently, right, y'all? Ain't that what y'all said? Hey, Troy, you know we've been on YouTube the whole time. We still been having classes. We have classes on what you call it, Substack and YouTube. Hey, it has been a while. Hey, y'all. So you said you've been missing it. Yep, we got on over 1,900 classes since 22. Ain't that crazy? We going almost 2,000 classes about all of the things that have been going on, honey. All of them. And we about to do something today. Not about that. We gonna do something else. So, if you have your notebook, please time and date it. Y'all know what it is. Write your time and date down. Come on. Literally, I was just reading the parable of the seed in Mark and Luke this morning. Interesting. He be right on the money every time. So, get your notebook out. Come on. Write down the date and time. I am not responsible for any crazy feelings that you might have. Where have I been on YouTube and Substack? Mm-hmm. We've been having class every day, just about. Not every day, but pretty much every day. Mm-hmm. We. What's my YouTube name? CERCA TROVA. It's been the same for 4.5 years, y'all. Yeah, we ain't changed. I only changed it on here. It's still the same. Yep, it's still the same. WOIU is still in effect. We outside International University. We about to have 5-year students here in a minute. Still. Okay. Hey, Wit. If you know, you know. Come on, Sheeta. Yeah. We still been getting it in. So, yeah. We still been having class. Oh, where's... Come on. Okay. You said don't call it a comeback. That part. Listen. Yeah, we still been having class. Listen. All right. So if you got your name on your paper, I mean not your name, I'm sorry, your date and time on there. I need that. We need that on there. Thank you so much. I need you guys to go to Bible Gateway. Okay. Hopefully y'all do the fruit experiment. If you didn't catch it, it'll be on YouTube. The fruit exercise, you have to you said, and I'm still rocking crop tops. It is. And you know what? While rocking crop tops, we have been able to be a blessing to people all around the world. Ain't that something? And I still have my robe on and everything, pajamas. Yeah. It's people in South Africa that's been blessed by this community in Japan and all sorts of other places, all while wearing a crop top because I'm going through menopause. Yeah. Ain't that crazy? Families have been fed and books have been given out and folks have been prepared for all that is happening right now. Interesting. Because we look at the heart of people and not what they wear. Ain't that crazy? You said, hi, girl, it's been so long I was moving and had no internet. Glad to be back in school. Hi, well, we don't really have school over here anymore. We have school on YouTube and Substack, so, but we door knocking today. We coming to door knock with y'all. So, if y'all want some class, I need you to go to Bible Gateway. And who knows about the option? Yeah. Yeah, we almost at 2,000 classes on YouTube. And they be good too. Still thought provoking. God is still coming through and warning us about things that are happening and everything. So yeah, it's real good. We done cried a lot of tears, but there's been a lot of growth in the last 4 years too. You know, we got little kids that study the word now. Right, it's still sizzling. Come on. So again, get if you need your shields, you're gonna need to go ahead and grab that. I am not responsible If you need your shield, if you need your helmet, whatever it is that you need, I'm going to need you to grab that because I am not responsible. I need you to go to Bible Gateway, and we're going to have two versions of the Bible open. I need you to do KJV and NIV. Hey, you said I haven't seen you in forever. You always come up right on time though. All right, that make me happy. You said I knew it. Queen said I got my shield already. Ain't nobody playing. Okay, good job. Okay, well let's get it there. Come on. So if you can go to Bible Gateway, and you said, oh, it's one of them days. Listen, if he bust my head to the white meat, I'm gonna bust y'all's to the white meat. That's what it is around here. Okay, so I need you to go to Psalms 4. Psalms 4. That's where we about to be. But I need you to have it open in NIV and in KJV. Okay? Can you do that for me? Please. Excuse me. When you over there, stay here. I'm probably about to go get my robe because I'm not about to keep tussling with this blanket. I know that. Okay, y'all over there? Okay, good job. Here we go. So I'm going to read out of the NIV first, and then we're going to jump over to the, and you know it ain't a lot of scriptures here. Okay? So it says, answer me when I call to you, my righteous God. Give me relief from my distress. Have mercy on me and hear my prayer. How long will you people turn my glory into shame? How long will you love delusions and seek false gods? Know that the Lord has set apart his faithful servant for himself. The Lord hears when I call to him. Tremble and do not sin. When you are on your beds, search your hearts and be silent. Offer the sacrifices of the righteous and trust in the Lord. Many, Lord, are asking, who will bring us prosperity? Let the light of your face shine on us. Fill my heart with joy when their grain and new wine abound. In peace I will lie down and sleep. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Okay? So, in the King James Version, I need you to go over to verse 5 in the King James Version. And you see here it says, offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put trust in the Lord. So at the top of your paper, hey, I need you to write sacrifices of the righteous. Thank you. Hey, I need you to write sacrifices of the righteous. Again, get whatever battle material you're going to need, and I am not responsible for the way that your body feels when we leave this class. You said, oh dear. Right, get your stuff. If you need your helmet, whatever you're going to need, I'm going to need you to grab it now, okay? Yeah, I'm going to need you to grab it. You said, well, it looks like it's time to pack it up. Uh-oh. All right, here we go. I need you to look up the definition of sacrifices of the righteous. Can you tell me what it means? I'm going to just tell you. Here we go. Giving up personal desires, pride, or comfort to act in alignment with the moral integrity, justice, and devotion to God. This applies to religions, relationship, and everyday life. I'm going to say that again. The sacrifices of the righteous people, is giving up personal desires. Can you give me an example of a personal desire that you have? Something that you want to obtain and or do? Something that you have longed to accomplish. Money. Okay. Comfort. Anybody else? Smoking. Okay. Car. Shelter. Stability. Being a lawyer, living in a certain place. Promotions. Okay. Leaving bad habits. Okay. Attention. Interesting. 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 Okay. Pleasing the flesh. Okay. What's something that if God gave it to you right now, you would jump up and down? Stop cussing. Okay. Okay. What is something that if God gave it to you right now, you might almost pass out? A car, a new house, money, money, healing, your own space, money, a car, your husband. Okay. Land, land, car, a new home, financial stability, victory over my enemy. Okay. Total health, land fully paid for, being able to stay at home and pursue new experiences. Okay. It's backwards. It'll do. Okay. All right. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I'm ready. Okay. What if his will for your life was you giving up that very thing and never seeing it? Would you still want to walk for him? You'll never experience it. And he tells you, yeah. Um, that personal desire that you have to be a landowner, to get a new car, to have a new house, I'm not going to give it to you, but I still want you to love me. You said, yep, here it is. Huh? Will you love me more than your desire? You said, see, I didn't have this here convo with him. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. To an extent. Uh-oh. You said that brought tears to my eyes. My son's talked to me again. Yes, I love my dad and I know he knows what's best. There's a reason in the lesson in everything. Yes, because he knows what's best for me. So if he's told you no to whatever that thing is until the day that you die, you will still go hard for him? You'll still do it? Be careful of your words now. Don't say it just because we're here. You better think about what you agreeing to. Because then you can't get mad when you keep working towards it and you don't see it. It would be hard, Miss Tika. You said Maine, right? Right. Let's go over this again now. A sacrifice is the of the righteous is giving up your personal desires. That could be to be a business owner. That could be to work outside the house. That could be to work in the house. That could be hello now. You said hurt my poor little heart, but I'd still rock with my daddy. Oh, have no choice. Praise in the storm. I think I was made to serve, and that sucks sometimes because I feel poured out sometimes. Come on, I just smack my teeth so hard, but his understanding is better than ours. Uh-oh, you said I had to do this, give up my dreams a lot, teacher, lawyer, etc. It still hurts, but I trust God more. Blind trust hurts. Uh-oh, what choice do I have? I don't want a life without him. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You said that's why. Uh-oh, thank you. You said that's why I be going back and forth. You sure you said that? Come on. You said yes, might be throwing a tantrum, but I'm gonna do it. Interesting. You said with great wisdom comes great sorrow. That's true. You said he's giving me a lot more than a car and material stuff. I'm alive. Um because of him. You're alive because of him. Okay. You said I tell myself he could have taken me out had I had it. Uh-oh. All right. The second thing is pride. What does giving up pride in your life look like? First, can you tell me the definition of pride? The biblical definition or Webster's? Being vulnerable. Mmm. Huh? You said I'm working on it. Dang, ding, that was too soon. Listen, I'm just about to go over this little list. An attitude of self exaltation that places yourself above God or above other people. Ooh. As an attitude of self absorption or arrogance and repeatedly warned that it leads to destruction and shame. Being hard headed. Interesting. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you had to walk away from something that you know for a fact you had a legal right to do and or say or act in a way, and you just walked away from it? And then tell me how many times you acted on your pride and it cost you something. Self exaltation, self sufficiency, and the attitude of independence from God. Independence from God. Come on. I did it. I have what I have because of myself. I worked hard to get this. Because you said because how you know my life, you said acted out too many times. I lost me. Interesting. Thank you. Thank you. You hear me? Too many and too independent. Interesting. So is righteous dressed in a certain way? Or is righteous following the law of God and humbling yourself not to people, to the Almighty God? I became the ice queen being Miss Independent. Huh? Is righteousness how many times that you attend church? Hey. Huh? Or is it even when it hurts your stomach, you do what God tell you to do? Even when you don't understand and when you can't see, you have to give up what you want. When he say, no, I don't want you to have that. You got to go over here. But God is right there in front of my face. He said, yeah, but no, I'm not going to give you that desire. Sometimes it's not going I'm not going to give it to you now. Sometimes it's you never going to see it. You said inordinate self-esteem, pride. Hello. Huh? There was people that hope to see things in the Old Testament and in the New Testament, and even though they lived their life like they were going to see them, they didn't. Okay? Thank you. You hear me? You said, I'm getting these lessons be lessening. Uh-oh, I'm getting there. These lessons be, sister. Remember when we first came over here and people used to say certain things to me? I said, it ain't nothing stopping me but my desire to not want to. You remember? I said, if I wanted to be out and about, I could. If I wanted to do certain things, it's right there in front of me. The devil ain't never gonna stop placing what he wants to lead you away from God with in front of your face. It's always gonna be right there. You can come back 20 years from now and it's gonna show up when you show up. But when you love God more than you love your own desires, and that's not saying you're not gonna mess up. I'm not saying that. Everybody mess up. Nobody's perfect. I'm saying, but when you said, "Ooh, I felt that." Listen, when you get to a point where it's like, God, even if it look like I'm failing, even if it look like ain't nobody around, even if it look like I don't know what I'm doing or whatever else, can you just be here with me? If you say I can't have that, help me to have a good attitude about not having it. Because you can say, okay, I'm fine that he never give it to me, and I always have an attitude when you think about it. So are you really glad that he didn't give it to you? And do you really have, thank you, his mindset? Or is it just you trying to wait till you can figure out a way to get it yourself? Hey, Pumpkin. You said C. Okay, well, we going to move on to the next. No, I didn't call you. Don't do that. All right. We're just going to move on. Mm-hmm. You said I lean on my own devices too much. Uh-oh. Our eyes see with limitations, but his eyes see all of me. That part. Hey, you said the going around God. You said I'm asking for him to be with me through it all. Come on, sister. Okay, here we go. The next one is surrender to self. Letting go of personal agendas. Sarah put this out. Self-absorption and the desire to win conflicts in order to restore peace and do what is right. Are you able to serve when everything in your life is falling apart? Okay, we definitely will pray for you, Sarah. Y'all send one up for Sarah. She got an appointment. Hey, you said, dang, I can't leave now. I'm already too deep in this conversation. You hit me on the money. Uh-oh. Huh? When you can't see for yourself, can you still light a match and lead somebody else out the darkness? You said, sis, why are you yelling at me? I'm actively working on a lot of these. I'm sorry. It's hard. I'm going through it right now. Oh, okay. Right. Because your personal agenda would tell you, take care of your business. But your call to righteousness would tell you, go look out for somebody else. Your call to righteousness would say, oh, I know I ain't gave you an answer, but I need you to get on the phone and give them one. It got real quiet in here. Hello. sister? Hmm? You ain't got no answers. I don't have to give you none about your life. But I gave you the answers for Susie's life and Bobby's life and Randy's life. And I need you to go give them to them in real life. That's the letting go of personal agendas and self absorption and the desire to win conflicts in order to restore. Oh, you don't gotta win. You don't have to have the last word. You don't have to let them know. You don't have to. You said, because Petty be trying to resurface here lately, and I had to have a real talk with Pops. Help me. I don't want to go back to being petty. Girl, petty and a whole bunch of other stuff. Goodness gracious. Just leave me alone. Ugh. Oh, man. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Like the visions I have been having is me going over being petty. Oh, I believe it. Listen, well, this lesson for us, come on in, sister. Stay a while. Story of my life, everyone else, life but mine's. Feet stump, yes, Dad, I'm going. Uh-oh, understanding correction is not being neglected through it. Uh-oh, here we go. Okay, well, come on in. Radical forgiveness. First, tell me the definition of radical. I feel like I might need my. I'm gonna go on and get this. I'll just put this up here for right now to protect myself. Protect. You said, oh man. You said, I'm gonna be in the back of class today with my hands folded, just listening. Auntie, come to the front. Sit on up here with me. What's the definition of radical? You said game over. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's the definition of radical? Tell me. You said radical forgiveness. Uh-huh. Just come on in. We about to get there. Hello. Hey. What's the definition of radical? I love y'all. I do. A lot. My eyes was watering when I was writing it. That's why I don't look like it's in a line. Psychological and spiritual practice that involves unconditional pardoning yourself and others. Right. Not just radical forgiveness, just radical. Just radical. The definition refers to extreme changes. Radical refers to extreme changes. Huh? You said advocating for thorough, extreme, or complete political or social reform from the roots up. Ooh. Thank you. Ooh. So radical forgiveness, you said you beat me up too much already. I can't type. Radical forgiveness is an extreme change to what you would have done. If somebody come in real life, walk up to you and start poking you in your forehead like you a child, what you gonna do? What would the old you have done? And what would the new you do? No, I don't understand Italian. I do not. You said pinch them. Uh-oh. Bop them up. Now I walk away. We would have been tussling. Oh, okay. You said try to learn. Okay. You would have popped them. Huh? You said you better call the police. You said old me on site, new me gonna let you make it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Would you call that a radical change or an extreme change? You said the old me would have thrown hands. The new me, you said, would be side-eye. You said I would have bit that finger clear off. Okay. Old me, Papa, new me, work in progress. What I done walked into, girl. Radical forgiveness. You said the you would have been fighting. You said we is family. Birds of a feather. You said I know it wouldn't be no good reaction, old and new. Niece, but the reaction you would have had, she said, I don't know, auntie. Old or new, it ain't gonna be no good. Neat. Sit on down. You got them babies. You got to make it home, girl. We ain't got no buy money right now. Listen, listen, look, I had to think about it my own self. When I was down there, I said, yep, ain't nobody got no buy money right now. Let me sit on down and just not even be crazy. Ain't nobody got no buy money right now. We can't be going. We might not get out, girl. Cause the devil is on my head. You hear me? Everybody say, you better than me. You better than me. Outta. And I had to say, but I can't. I gotta sit down. You hear me? Listen, I told, because who was gonna come get me out? Huh? So that's why we gotta make a radical change and just not. You hear me? You said 53 of age and menopause, no good. Listen. But think about this too. Again, that goes back to, right? What did it cost you? If you acted on what, ain't no buying money. You said we would have took up a collection. No, because we just better. Not better than nobody. We act better. God has been working on us. Right? We don't need it. Back in the day, yes. Yes. Now. And even my niecey poo. Even my niecey poo talking about the old and new. God been working on you. You hear me? He been working on, even though you might think you gonna react in a way, and God'll surprise you every time, because the seed that has been sown a long time ago, one of them classes that we had, you hear me? He still is, yes. Do you see? It'll be a seed that you didn't even know was in there growing, baby. That as soon as the situation uh present itself, the fruit will grow. It'll pop up. It'll produce. And he'll put some on your mind or whatever else it is. Like you said, see, I'm working backwards because the old me would have walked away. New me gonna bend your fingers. Don't do that. You said that's the part of the journey people don't understand. When you learn the true character of Christ, you have to handle people different, and they just think you being soft, but it's change. Come on, girl. We definitely will. Definitely will, Riley. We definitely will. You said he growing leaves and snatching the dead ones off. Come on. Come on. We definitely will pray for your family. You're welcome. Okay. All right. Radical forgiveness is choosing to forgive offenses and forego retaliation. What does it mean to forego retaliation? You said so true. I surely thought I was going to be on first 48 my last trip home. He let me walk away. Oh, okay. You said, oh my God, let go and let God. You said, oh me. And now, new me still pop off. God is working on me. Pause and think before you move. To walk away from. To do without retaliating. Okay. All right. Let me ask you a question. To go before or to proceed. All right. So it says, and to turn the other cheek for the sake of higher principles. To move on, no revenge. You said, I'm not there yet. I'm so tired of being victimized. I've started striking back, praying about it though. Well, maybe this lesson is for you, honey. Give up all the chances of getting even. Ooh. Literally that I spoke with a friend yesterday, and he said I was sorry for wanting to check up on an old friend. It made me feel a little bad, but this conversation proves my point. Come on. Had those lessons, had to forgive family members who falsely accused me to the authorities. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Forego retaliation means to intentionally not choose to seek revenge, payback, or retribution against someone who has harmed or wronged you. Instead of striking back, you let the offense go. You know why God asked us to do that? Do you know why that's a part of righteousness? Because we offend God every day and he don't pay us back for every offense. You can't ask for something you won't give. You offend God every day with your sinful thoughts, sinful words, sinful actions. So should he retaliate on you for every thought that you do that offends him? Every action that you commit that offends him? Because you can think, oh, God, they look funny. And he's offended because he made them look like that. It's his creation. And he thought they were beautiful or whatever else it is. And you said something offensive, the same way you would feel if somebody said something about one of your kids. What if somebody that you didn't know walk up and say, oh, your baby head is big and they bald heads who ain't got no hair? It's a little funny looking. What mood would you be in? Or how about if you have planned something and taken time for 2 months to plan something, and then somebody comes to your celebration or to your whatever, your dinner, and says, oh, all this food is horrible and I don't even know why you cooked it. Did you think somebody would want to eat this? I could have did a better job. How would you feel? Would you feel offended? You said I laughed and said it's big, but she'll grow into it. I'm just saying. How would you feel? Thank you. If you took 2 months planning some type of special dinner for your family or get together, friend, baby shower, I don't know, and somebody came up and said the food trash, I could have did a better job, I don't even know why we let you do this, you said you'll be ready to fight for sure. How about you? How about y'all? I would want them to go. I'll be so mad. Okay, let me get this one. I'll tell y'all. Y'all ready? Y'all do that. I ain't gonna say y'all because I do it too. We do that to God every time we tell him he didn't plan our life right. We say the exact same thing when God tells us it's taking too long. You walk up into your life like you the one that planned it. Like you're the one that took all of the time to put everybody in place so that when you walk through the door, all you got to do is enjoy it. Every time you complain about your life and it's not being the way and what you thought it was going to be and how you thought it was going to be, God said, I planned your life before you was even born. What you was going to eat, where you was going to live, what your hair was going to look like, what your stomach was going to look like, what your teeth was going to look like, where you was going to work, what kids you was going to have, what vacations you was going to go on, what couch and bed you was gonna sleep in, what books you was gonna have in your house, what tools you was gonna have, and you always telling me you could have did a better job. All you gotta do is show up. He said everything you need I've already provided. And you gonna complain about food you didn't have to cook, and complain about decorations you didn't have to put up. You said stop. I was just in this headspace last week. You've been in my house. Sorry, Pumpkin. I love you, Niecy Pooh. God planned your life, and you constantly telling him how you could have made it better there, and if you was in control of it, how much better it would be. Trying to steal the pen for my own story. Hello. You said I just moved because he told me to. Now I'm struggling a little bit, but he's in control. I trust he is. Ain't that crazy? Y'all was all ready to have an attitude. You said, now why you bopping me in the head? Y'all was all ready to have an attitude about somebody coming to your event and acting like they and didn't know you was the one coming to the event, complaining every time you come over about how the food ain't and how the house ain't and how the car ain't and how the right. How long it's taking to eat. You said like I had to go let go of the thought of being a mom, and he turned around and told me I had to raise someone else's children. I was a mom of two for 5 years. This part. You said see what had happened was I'm gonna give y'all the minute to sit in that. Now, I want you to write down the five things you complain about the most. Not here on your paper. Hmm. The five things that you complain, not here. I want you, hey, you said you've been looking for my page. We on YouTube. We don't be over here no more. We been on YouTube. We still on YouTube. And we on Substack. We don't have class over here. We door knocking today. We coming to visit y'all. You said, oop, I came back and my head bust. Uh-huh. Write down the five things you complain about all the time. CERCA TROVA 22. It's the same one. Still CERCA TROVA 22 on YouTube. Write down the five things you complain about most. And then think about how you would feel. Okay? If somebody complained to you about those five things every single day. Or is there someone that does? And could it be because God has already planned your life? He's already planned out what you're going to eat, where you're going to sleep, where you're going to drive, where you're going to work. And because he hasn't told you yet, you offend him every day. Even though he planned your life out when he was planning where the trees was going to grow. Part of your life was in that. He knew what subdivision you was going to live in when he planted the trees there and let it be an apple grove for 400 years and then let it be. I'll be right back. I think I need some more coffee. I think I need me some more Java. Mm-hmm. Sorry, y'all. Y'all still here? Y'all still here? You said, how we fall for the head bop every time? You said, girl, I thought you were talking about the door knocking app. I went over there looking too. I don't even know what that is. So if there's no classes on TikTok, you go to YouTube. Hey, Pumpkin, we didn't have a YouTube this whole time, babies. We had almost 1,900 classes. Or, no, we're over 1,900 classes now. We working on 2,000 classes over there on YouTube. We still been having class. Yep. Well, we've been gone off of here for a while. I don't know. On and off for the last year and a half or so. But we've been on YouTube still. And we on Substack as well. So, yep. Hey. Y'all okay? Y'all got y'all 5 things down? You got your 5 fruits. You said we haven't had class over there since December. It's been almost a year. And then before that, we was off for a while too, earlier last year. Because that's when I took all my videos off. Well, let's keep going. Y'all still got y'all paper? Y'all okay? We got you something to drink or something? Because we still got more. So, come on in. I hope y'all writing this down. Do y'all ever look through y'all journals and be like, dang, we really have studied a lot of stuff? All different sorts of things we've studied here. Take you through you can go through a rabbit hole just going through your journals. You're going to have to go back and watch the class, baby. Or stay in and then you can get the rest of it on YouTube today. Huh? You said yes, just did it yesterday. Right. We've studied a lot of different things here. And they relate to so many other things in our life. Hey. So if you ever miss a class, you just go back to YouTube. We're still recording. Go to the most recent live. Anything that you missed. You can also go back in the live while we're in it and rewind. We found that out as well. I don't know if y'all know that. So you can actually rewind the live if you missed something. Okay. So here we go. All right. So, along with radical forgiveness, which is choosing to forgive offenses, forego retaliation, and turn the other cheek for the sake of higher principles, I went and looked that up, the statement, turning the other cheek in Hebrew, and it means implying self-control, forgiveness, and letting go of the urge to retaliate. What would be a situation, that you would want to retaliate in? Or has there been a situation recently where you wanted to retaliate? Or you even been thinking about still getting them back? You said, yes, I was looking back in my journals and came across the class. What it felt like, I was like, wow, somebody messing with my kids, okay, a boss at work, okay. Husband cheating, okay. I forgot about this. Someone stealing my money after helping them financially. My baby daddy's sister jumped me a while I was pregnant with my son. Y'all missed me. I've been in the same place, Jimmy. I don't know if you remember this, but I told folks that was going to happen. I said, listen, we going to be on YouTube, but we going away from here. This ain't always going to be around because they was playing with us. I don't think people thought we was really going to leave. You said, but I let God handle them. Yeah. What would be a reason for you wanting to retaliate against somebody? You're in Puerto Rico? Hold on. You said, wow, he know I want to do something and he telling me no. That's crazy, man. No, nephew, come on in. Yeah, self-control been a big part of the class today. Oh, okay. You said they whole little lives is messed up. You said I couldn't find you for months, and God said, "Boom, you need this divine timing." Uh-oh. Porter. Okay, so let me ask you a question. What's going on? You said honestly anything that would make me offended. Niece. You said really? It don't even take much, auntie. It don't even take much. So let me ask you a question, Gloria. In Puerto Rico, I don't know. I think you was here in the beginning. You've been seeing some of the stuff that we talked about way back in 22 and 23 that everybody was calling us crazy for believing was gonna happen. Do you see it happening? I'm having forgiveness issues right now. This is crazy how God speaks. He do. Yes. The rising costs and everything, the blackouts and all of that kind of stuff, it's all here. All of it. The civil unrest in places and the nations not being happy with each other. And people told us none of that had anything to do with salvation, and it had everything to do with salvation. All of it. Because it was all the things that happened right before God destroyed the earth the first time. And He's going to do it again. And Jesus came to save us from the devastation, not on earth, but from living in that forever. You said I had to let God and the courts handle it. Uh oh. It's cool when God tells you before, and you don't have to wait until the news tells you, right? Because we know they're going to report it when they feel like it, if at all. Do you feel like they wanted us to be in the dark about a lot of stuff? Because we talked about that too. How they wanted people to be caught off guard. You see it. Definitely. Isabel. Oh, yes. A class. Oh, that's the AI summary. Got it. I'm like, what is it? Hey. Hey, sister. Okay. Let's go. All right. I wrote here that radical forgiveness is also nonviolent resistance and reclaiming your dignity. Right? I've been on YouTube the whole time. We still on YouTube, y'all, having class. Can I ask you a question? When you act on your pride or you try to retaliate, don't you normally end up looking like a fool? And you end up regretting your actions. Wishing you wouldn't have said and or did. Trying to delete the outburst off of the internet. Hoping somebody didn't record you acting a plumb fool. So when you walk away and you don't desire revenge, God says you're going to walk away with your dignity. You're not going to be looking like no fool. You're not going to have to go back and hold on. So the very thing that you be trying to uphold, you lose when you act in retaliation. What you were trying to uphold, your pride and your whatever, you end up losing it if you retaliate. Isn't that crazy? That's not what the world tells you. They tell you to act out, to get your respect, to get your whatever. And the Bible says, ooh, no, it's different. Because now won't nobody be able to say, oh, she acted out and I thought she was a Christian and I thought he was this. Come on. The world let you be crazy, Andu. You don't gotta be no pushover. Listen now. It says non-violent resistance and reclaiming your dignity. It says when you retaliate, that opens the door for Lucifer to attack you. Okay? Refusing to escalate violence while standing firm against humiliation, forcing the aggressor to treat the victim as an equal. You don't stoop down to their level. You don't give them the energy, hey, that they want you, because they're doing it to get a reaction, Remember action, reaction, and reward? And action, reaction, and discipline. That's still a thing. It's always going to be an action. You always going to give a reaction, but your reaction determines whether you get a reward or discipline. Period.
Uh-huh.
They listening real good today. If you tell your kids don't go into the refrigerator, and then they go into the refrigerator and they knock something out and bust whatever else it is all on the ground, glass everywhere, food, liquid everywhere, what's gonna be your response? You said not you teaching her too, that part, the girl, they ear hustling. You said when they go low, we go high, Mrs. Obama. Come on. Not only did they waste money, that might be all that you have, they put themselves in danger by not listening. How many times have you put your soul, your sanity, your finances, your family, yourself, your life, your breath, your very source of life in jeopardy for not listening? For going ahead and not heeding the warning that came to you. It don't matter if it came from your kids saying, Daddy or Mommy, I had a bad dream. I don't think TT such and such, your brother such and such to come over here. And then you say, oh, it was you just a kid. I'm not listening to you. One time, one of my nieces said to my brother, Daddy, don't shoot nobody with your GUN. He said, girl, going on. And then a situation happened with his little sister, my brother, where he was looking for every GUN in the house. But when she said that, we know that this 3-year-old baby have dreams. And so we went and we put up most of them. The only one we couldn't get rid of was the gauge. You know what was happening? He was hopping in his car about 2 days later and was on his way to go do some stuff. 2 days later. Thank God nobody got hurt but the truck. But somebody could have lost their life. A few people, as a matter of fact. Now, somebody would have said, that's a child, a kid. She was 3, but God was giving her dreams. She had a dream that her daddy shot somebody. 3 days before, he left to go shoot somebody. But he did, thank God, it wasn't nothing but the grace of God that he didn't. But do you hear me? It don't always got to come from your spiritual leader. It don't always got to come from the Bible. The Bible talks about listening to little children when they speak and not discounting the words that come out of their mouth when they say stuff. Now, sometimes do they be on some BS? Yes, they kids. But God can speak directly through your child to you about a situation that is going to come up. And because you're worried about bills and everything else, you're not listening. You're not listening. But he can't get to you in your dream, so he got to let them have a nightmare. Hello. You said, I wish I had people who believed in me as a kid. Maybe I wouldn't doubt me so much. Well, God wants you to depend on him. Your strength don't come from you. You probably, I ain't going to say should doubt yourself. I ain't going to say that. But every time you put belief in yourself, you fall, girl. Listen to your TC. Put your belief in God, because that's where your strength is. That's where the knowledge is. Because every time you believe in yourself that you can do something, baby, you're going to be sliding down the wall. Hey, we believe that we can find our own mate. We believe that we can make our own career. We believe that we can make a relationship work and all of this stuff. And guess what? Nigga be bent over about dead trying to hold a dream alive that ain't even supposed to be there. Hello. It'd be and took all your life source trying to keep it alive, and God said you ain't even supposed to be over there. You said you just answered something I needed to hear. Listen, God know what he doing. You said yes, he can even use a donkey. You said we wishful thinkers, and it's y'all done heard it. Uh, make your plans and watch God laugh. Oh, okay. Thank you. We not back. We just over here door knocking. We not back over here. We just door knocking. Uh-huh. Yeah. Right. Crazy, right? Here we go. Oh, that's why this phone broke now. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Next one. Spiritual devotion. Offering obedience and a humble and repentant spirit, sincere praise, rather than just going through the motions of empty rituals. Let me ask you a question. When your child fall down and they see them fall, do they act differently from when you act like you don't see it? They do. What do they do when you see them fall? Tell me. How do they act? They fall all out and get to hollering and to look you in your eyes and cry in your face. Ah, ah. But if I act like I didn't see you fall, you get up and get back to playing. You said they exaggerate. They so dramatic. They look at you because they want you to see. They'll even touch their face sometimes to see if the tears is coming out. And I'll be like, no. You said my baby be crying harder looking at me. Going through that right now. Don't even try. You said they look for your reaction. You be doing all that hooping and all that hollering without any changed behavior. You do all that crying. God, why? Why you ain't let it? He said, why you ain't changed? Ain't nothing wrong with you. You was probably doing something I told you not to do or not paying attention, and that's why you failed. That's why you stubbed your toe. That's why you ran into the wall. Because if you remember earlier, I told you don't go over there. Don't answer their phone call. Don't spend the money. Don't go on the trip. Don't take the job. Well, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. Don't take the job. And now you're complaining every day of how the job ruined your life. Come on now. Stop being petty. You said my baby been doing this thing where he'll fake cough to get your attention. I'm like, where you get that from? I told you they liars from the beginning. See, it was some people on here that said I was mean because when I said your kids are not innocent, the Bible say they come out evil. Hey, born in sin and shaped in iniquity. Your baby's a liar from the time they come out the tweezy. They gonna cry and ain't nothing wrong with them. They liars. Before they can even speak words, they lie. Once they know that if they cry, you gonna come pick them up, you can walk back like this. And they'll start laughing. You move out of their side. What is wrong with you? They'll start laughing. Oh, it's a game to you because you trying to control me. No, sir, no, ma'am. You don't have to see me. Just know I'm here. I'm not always going to be in your sake. That don't mean I'm not listening, and that don't mean I'm not paying attention. God. He don't got to gotta be in your face every day. He don't gotta respond to you immediately. That don't mean if you really hurt yourself or something is happening that he ain't on his way to you. He right in the house. You said mine autistic on top of that. She's ridiculous. Huh? My 2-year-old son purposely cries super loud to annoy me. He loved giving me a hard time. Oh, okay. You said this. Sneaky too. Oh, okay. My cousin was like 2 years old. She fell down the stairs, got up, and looked for our facial expression. She heard one chuckle and gasp. She got up and laughed it off. This. We do God the same way. If we think He paying attention, we cry real, real loud, thinking that's gonna get Him to move, like He didn't already see you getting ready to fall. He told you to get down. He told you don't go. He told you don't answer the phone. And now you screaming and hollering and sliding down the wall when He already told you what was gonna happen. You about to fall. Don't take their number. How many times have you said, God, if you just let them call me or let me talk to them so we can hash it out this one last time? And God said no, because it ain't going to be the last time if I let you hash it out. That's like your baby asking, let me fall off the couch one more time. Let me fall off the cabinet one more time. Let me fall down off the hood of the car one more time. Let me not buckle myself in the seatbelt and smack the back of the seat one more time. Well, just because it didn't hurt you last time don't mean it ain't going to take your life this time, and your life might not be changed forever. Quit asking for Him to let you keep hurting yourself. Because you having your way keep hurting you. Huh? You said, well, what had happened was, you said, well, you said 3 times and the silence set in heavy. Oh, okay. You said, geez, and Jesus, all I'm going to say. Oh, okay. Then asking in the same breath to protect us. Oh, okay. Righteousness is denying yourself what you want. Okay, let me show y'all something. I've always had a desire to be married. I got married. It wasn't good. I've been single now for over 5 years. The desire, I realize, is not to be married. The desire is for companionship. But you don't have to be married to have companionship. And you can live a holy life, right? Not folding your legs up or getting folded up, and have companionship. Do you hear me? But guess what? The times that I've gotten into a relationship, my ministry suffered. It suffered greatly because either the person that I was with, they didn't like the fact that people came and they changed when they came around, so they would try to do all this weird stuff. They always made it very difficult for me to do this right here. If I was married, I probably wouldn't be able to sit here for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours and teach. I wouldn't have been able to do, if I was in a new relationship, y'all think they was going to let me sit here and be in here with y'all at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning when God say get up and teach right now because somebody need to hear this right now, and then only sleep for 2 hours and then get up and be on there for 6? Y'all think He was going to be okay with that? Probably not. So a lot of times, and I'm talking about my personal life, I have to forego relationships to be able to keep my ministry. That would be a personal desire. Mm-hmm. That's what that would be. That's what that would be right there. That would be a personal desire of mine. Now, what's crazy is the devil has sent some amazing people. And what I mean by that is he stole the gifts, or he used the gifts that God put into that person for his own gain, to gain access to me. But he had already sowed seeds of other things in there, like murder, abuse, neglect, lack, So what he presented me with, okay, was a love for knowledge, a love for art, a love for cooking, a love for music, all the things. Come on now. Okay. Hey, Auntie. You said manipulation. I asked Dad to send me the man he wanted me to have, and I was asked out by a millionaire. So I immediately said the devil be listening, and I don't feel like Dad sent him. Come on. Okay? The devil knows what good gifts. Okay. Okay. Let me ask you a question. How many times you know your gifts? Nephew came in here a couple weeks ago. I showed an old picture of me, and he said, "Auntie, them eyes." And I said, "Yep, that's why they don't work now, nephew, because I used them for the wrong reasons." Nigga, bat our eyes in a minute and make sure I was standing in the sun that probably burnt my retinas up trying to use the siren eye. Hello. And now I got 4 of them. Because a nigga, and I need 3 times the magnification. Far sighted, nearsighted, and to read the book I need. Come on now. We've used, girl. We have used the things. We have allowed Lucifer or pride or self gain or self absorption to the gifts that God gave us to draw people to us, to draw them to Him. We use them to draw to ourselves. Well, I'm going to just say me. I don't know what y'all did. I'm going to put both my hands up. I have. Okay? But when your desire is to please God more than it is to please yourself, you're going to go through some things. It's not going to feel comfortable. Remember, when I came here, I said, I just finished school. I'm about to get my trucking company going, and I don't know. I got drivers and do. And God said, no, I need you to do something else. What do you mean you need me to do something else? You just told me you needed me to go to school. Right. I did. And now I need for you to do something else. But I want to do my business. I know you do. But I need you to do something else. But I already have my hopes. I already wrote my business plan. I already got. And I need you to do something else that ain't going to have nothing to do with logistics for real. Imagine going to school, and I didn't, but I'm just saying, for 5 years, graduating with honors, summa cum laude, or whatever you call it, all of those stuff, and then he say, okay, now you don't get to work in it at all. I need you to go and work at this place shoveling hay. Let's say you just finished your PhD. And he said, yeah, no, I need you to go be a manager at McDonald's. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But what if he did that? What would you say? Not be an owner of the McDonald's, a manager. How would you feel about that redirection? You said, what, Dad? You said you pray he doesn't do that. No, that's not what I asked. I said, what would you do? You said, oh my God, you just keep answering stuff. Thank you. You're welcome. You said, I wish I knew my purpose automatically. Okay. Can I ask you a question? Do me a favor. Finally get to your dream job, and then God make you sit down somewhere. Tell me what the disciples did for a living. Hey, we've been on YouTube the whole time. So if you miss us, you can find us on YouTube and Substack. CERCA TROVA 22. We still been over there not every day, but most days. Huh? They were a tax collector, a fisherman, what else? No. Prior to them becoming disciples, what were their job descriptions? What were their careers? Everybody was a fisherman or a tax collector. Somebody was a doctor. Somebody was a, you know what I mean? Ah! It's still a profession. People get paid a lot of money to be killers. It's a profession. It's a career. Some people they have a name for it. It's called a hitman. There was a carpenter. Somebody was a 304. So she knew how to get that bread too. Okay. Luke was a doctor. So there was somebody was a king. There was somebody that had, we'll say, a doctorate, and God said, come on and walk with me and leave your whole practice. An accountant. Oh, so somebody had an accounting firm. Peter was the hitman. Oh, okay. So they had established careers when God said, leave it all. And come live with me, and don't bring no clothes, and don't bring no shoes, and don't worry about what apartment you gonna lease, don't worry about what car you gonna drive, where you gonna sleep, where you gonna eat. So when you sit and say, God, please don't make me give up all that I have already created, he said, I am going to, in one way or another. It might not be your career, but he might ask you to stay at your job and go all the way back down to where you started at first. Then what? You gonna have an attitude because you're not in management no more. You're gonna be looking for something else because you can't keep your same position, your level of authority. He said, man, why he just say, I gave up what I wanted for y'all? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. See, righteousness feel a little different when you break it down, don't it? Folks be talking about, I'm the righteous. Are you? Because it show you sure look self-serving to me. You can't be self-serving and be righteous, honey. There's no way. It's not possible. The two cannot exist in one space together. Because if Jesus was self-serving, hey, if Jesus was self-serving, we wouldn't even be here. We would be dead. He didn't sin. Come on. Jesus wasn't self-serving. He already had it. He already had everything he needed and this and that. He had angels that was, huh? He didn't have to come down and live with us, but he did. He said, see, that's why I be like, you didn't have to do me like that, Dad. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Those were careers that they built. God said, let me build you a new one. What they was trying to protect had everything to do with what they built. It served them. No or yes? Now, it wasn't that God wasn't, going to use the information and knowledge that they had, but he just was going to use it in a different way. I got you, girl. We good. We good. Okay. We don't have all their stories. We don't know what all they did. Okay. Do you hear me? The only reason we mad is because it's something we built. And there was a specific outcome that we were looking for. But you don't know where God gonna blow you in the wind. And seeing as how he saw our lives before we had them, Also, going back to our fruit exercise, all fruit takes a different time to grow. And there's several different fruits of the spirit. Your faith might take longer than your long suffering or patience or knowledge or whatever it is. The tree gotta grow, the roots gotta get strong, the bark gotta grow on there, all of the different circulatory systems of the tree from the root and the filters and all of the different fibers that are going to be able to produce the best fruit in your life. They have to mature. That's why I'm asking y'all to write down your favorite 5 fruits and look how long it takes to go from seed to yield, but also what has to go into the soil. What are the weather conditions need to be like? Where south of equator, north of equator, all of that old stuff. What's the planting season? How long do you have to wait? What things can cause that plant not to grow? What needs to be in the soil? All of those different things have everything to do with your walk in life, your purpose. It also has to do with you understanding righteousness. Righteousness is not people thinking you saved. Righteousness is going where God tell you to go and giving up certain things that are important to you for his plan. And you being uncomfortable in situations to get the word out. You don't think that the disciples were uncomfortable? They was thrown in jail, beaten, all sorts of things happened to them. It didn't stop them. They was basically homeless. We used to vagabonds from here to there, hopping trains and boats and planes and just staying wherever they could. If God asked you to live that life, would you be okay with it? No income. Just believing that he gonna take care of you every single day. No steady place to stay. You don't know where you're gonna sleep. He said don't worry about where you're gonna sleep. Don't worry about what you're gonna eat. Can you really do that? Because we'll say for Christ I live and for Christ I die, but what are you really willing to give up? If you had to put your stuff in storage and go live with people for 5 years and not sleep on your own couch and not sleep in your own bed, what would you do? You said, I know when I realized that I wasn't ashamed of being homeless. Come on. Come on, sister. If you think about it, God asked everybody. The man said, let me go back and bury my family. Let me go back. God said, don't worry about it. Go ahead and do what you need to do. Okay, let's get through here. I was homeless when I found him. Come on. So the last one that we have here, really quickly. Spiritual devotion, we read this. Offering obedience, a humble and repentant spirit, sincere praise, rather than just going through the motions of empty rituals. How many of you feel like you was just going through the rituals when you just went to church? My stalker's vacuuming, y'all. She heard me in here, now she vacuuming. Baby, I'm telling you, I get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's so weird. Whatever room I'm in, she be in. If I go in the kitchen, she just go in there and start walking real hard. How you listening to somebody that's under you is wild. It's the craziest mess I've ever seen in my life. You said, you. Okay. Okay. It is. SWM is a real thing. I'm sorry, SWF. Churches scare you. I'm not speaking against church. I'm just saying, were you a robot when you was going? Hey, Long time no see, y'all. We've been on YouTube this whole time, y'all. We got over 2,000 classes over there. I mean, not over, close to 2,000 classes. I know that God will always provide and make a way. Okay. You were empty. Anybody else was empty? You pretty much already knew what they was gonna say, what they was gonna do. Did you feel any different when you went to church and went home? Did it stop you from doing any of the things that God wasn't pleased with, or did you? It wasn't a big deal. You just felt like you was okay because you went to church. You said yes, but it didn't last. You. So was it ritualistic? Just you went to church because you knew you're supposed to, not because you really wanted to be there, not because you went for the word for real that you were going to apply to your life. You just went because we've been told you need to go to church. Some churches you felt the spirit. Some others are very performative. I think mine was just the music that moved me so much, not the message. Wait, hey, uh-uh. Honestly, I never learned much in church. Interesting. No. Okay. You would sleep, girl. You said, but when I sing, it's different. You said, yes, it's the music for me. It was okay. It's the church talk. Church to me is comforting. Who needs it? I can heal myself the same way. Interesting. I felt like I was okay just because I tithed and I went to church and thought I was going to heaven. But ooh, your relationship with Christ is key. That's true. Nope, the same way I went in church was the same way I came out. Okay. Let me ask you a question. How many of you? How many of you, since you've started to study, okay, stuff just fell off? It's gotten a lot easier to line up with what the word really says once you understand. I couldn't remember the lessons taught. Oh, sister, sister. Now they won't stay out your head. It felt routine and then started to feel discouraging because I knew I needed help and what they were saying wasn't helping me change. Okay. Okay. But now that you auntie, you, okay. Hey, it's more personal. Interesting. Who feels like God talks to you more now? Or is it that you listen more? Or that you even understand how his voice sounds to you? You said when you don't know, you don't you said when you don't know better. Come on, auntie. Every day. I went to church to hear God's voice and to draw closer to God, but God told me I didn't have to go to church. Come on. Okay. I hated it because it was too basic and a lot of things they taught were obviously wrong and people went along with it. You said all of the above. Understanding and applying definitely helped. Come on. Would you say you have a little bit more joy now that doesn't come with regret? Yeah. You actually remember nights that definitely more joy. Interesting. Even when it's hard, you can find something to be happy about. Whereas maybe back in the day, it might have taken you down a dark road. Interesting. Okay. You said, talk to me and answer me quick now, like his face is facing me and that is back. Come on. You said, listen, it feels like all the chains are broken. What's wrong with the church? You used to tell me. You used to tell me to do. Listen. Lots of joy now. Come on, auntie. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Ain't that crazy how when you line up with God's word, it's harder, but your life gets better. You can continue to do everything you want to do. You said it's gummy bear preaching. Oh, Key, was you here yesterday? Last night, as a matter of fact. It wasn't even yesterday. It was last night. You wasn't here because we wasn't on YouTube, TikTok. We was on what's the name? Girl, we talked about honey covered lips yesterday. Honey covered lips covered with honey, speaking all that sweet stuff to you, baby. Your whole time is detrimental to everything in your life. Oh, okay. So come on right on in. We literally talked about honey covered lips last night. Didn't we, y'all? We literally talked about honey covered lips last night. Sweet talkers. And here you coming in talking about gummy bear preaching. That would be considered the same. I ain't never heard that, but I like it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting. You said, yes, my cousin just passed at 104 today, and I'm here in class, but I know she's not suffering no more. That part. You said, yes, it's the easiest, hardest thing I've ever done. Uh-oh. 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 Come on. I like that. You said the joy has a different meaning now. The simple living is so priceless. Don't need all the fakes that was around. You said when the joy was from the world. Come on. You realize that don't even be joy because it normally ends up costing you some regret. The fun turn ups, you can regret it in the morning, either on the toilet, looking at your wallet, looking at something that might be laying next to you, like how you get here, huh? And it was fun in the moment. But that regret you about to feel, baby. Huh? You said I always looking at the think about it. The joy of the world comes with regret. Wake up like them. Dealing with stuff. Let me ask you a question. The joy of the world will have you dealing with less than what you're worth. You say, yep, it eats you up. God be trying to give you this. And prime example. I done told y'all, dealing with wealthy men, a lot of them treat you like crap. They treat you like you a possession, like you're dispensable, like you could just, hey, I can get another one. So the world will say this is what you need to strive for. All the while, the glitz and glam is only surface. Because underneath, a seat cover. Come on. So this stuff don't really have no value because you treat the jewelry that you give me better than you treat me. You treat the clothes and care for the clothes and the car that you gave me better than you treat my feelings. And God is constantly saying, I'm worried about the inside of you and the outside of you. They only worried about the outside and how you make them look. But I'm worried about if you okay. I'm worried about your mental health. I'm worried about how my actions affect you. I don't just want to give you empty wealth. And I'm going to tell you how I know, because it's a lot of millionaires that unalive themselves. It's a lot of rich kids that unalive themselves, and they can have any and everything that they want. And if they're not unaliving themselves, they're almost walking around like they're walking dead because they're on so many substances because they hate their life. So what the world tells you is whatever, whole time, it ain't no joy in it. And there's so much regret. Do you hear me? Simple lies. Ain't it crazy how they'll make all that money and then get rid of everything and go live on a farm somewhere in the middle of nowhere where ain't nobody around? And they growing vegetables. They don't want the glitz and the glam. They don't want the red carpet. They don't want it. Why? because that life cost them a lot. Now, it's not saying that God can't make you wealthy. It's not saying that. But what does it come with? What does it come with? You said facts. Definitely undervalued myself. Come on. All right. We're going to get through here. So the next part of righteousness or sacrifices of the righteous is benevolence. Sharing time, energy, and resources to help those in need, even when it's inconvenient. You said, see, millionaire for me. I believe my dad wants me to have a good and simple life. Come on, auntie. Oh, you said no millionaire for you. And it's not even saying that it might, I mean, auntie, that could be a way he gonna give it to you. It could be. You don't know, right? But it could also be for you to offer him the peace that he might not have. Because opposites do attract. You know what I mean? You never know what God put you in that person's life. It might not be for the type of relationship that he's looking for, but it could be for a relationship. To help that person get a relationship with God, to help them see, like, you don't know why God put you there. Because plenty of times God put his people around people that had wealth, and it was for the betterment of others around that person. Do you see what I'm saying? It might be a situation that is going to come into that man's life, and you're going to help him to do whatever. You don't know. Yeah. You don't know how God going to use you to move in that man's life, to where he help all kind of people around him. You never know. But it might be you being there to show him how to live, or sometimes it's just one phrase that people are looking for. Right. You don't know why God put him in your life. It might not be for a relationship. It could be. We don't know. Right? But relationship, again, between man and woman is not always, we look, okay, you know what, auntie? Do the love, the 5 or 6 or 7 types of love. Give them that exercise and see what you get. Y'all remember that one? How do they love you? You said you're hitting on every area that I've been struggling in. I really miss coming to class. I'm happy you came. Okay. Who remembers tell me the 5 different types of love. And give me a description. You can just pick one, because I know everybody ain't going to pick the same. What's the different types of love? There's several. Because people can say they love you again, and you need to understand in which way. What? No. There's real names. Hey, we be on YouTube, y'all. You remember that exercise. Tell me the different types of love, please. Oh, yes, I remember that when I did that on all of them exes, and it definitely showed me why it didn't work. Eros. Okay. Affirmation. It's either no. Eros is men's passionate romance. Okay. Storge is the natural love that, for example, a mother has for her child. Agape love. And what is agape? There's 5 or 7, depending on where you're looking at. 5 or 7 different types of love. There's agape, there's storge, there's eros, there should be 2 or 3 more, because understanding the way a person loves you, you can be in one type. Okay, there we go. Philia denotes friendship between and among people. So there's different types of love, and you'll be thinking when a person love you that they say there's mania. Okay, did you say you was doing love languages too, right? No, I got it. I'm just saying the types of love, right? Agape is unconditional love. There's familial love. So I can love you like family. Ludus, right? Lewd love. Lascivious. Ludus, well, they say that's playful love. Self-love. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Eros is passionate romance. Philia is deep friendship. Storge is familial bond. Agape is unconditional selfless love. And is that Felucia is healthy self-love. Hello. So understand, when a person tells you they love you, you need to ask them, do you know the different types of love? Because how many times, okay, don't believe me? How many times have you told a person you love them, but you love them like a friend? It could be of the opposite sex or whatever, and they think you mean that you're in love with them, and that's not what you meant. Or you love them like a brother and sister in Christ, and you're trying to love them like a brother and sister in Christ, and they trying to be in love with you. No, that ain't the kind of love I'm talking about. So it's important that you know the different types of love, and the people that you are interacting with know the different types. Because I might love you like I got nieces and nephews in here. I love like my kids. That's familial love. All my TT babies and my nephews and my nieces. Okay, my sisters. Come on. You got to know what type of love it is when they say that they love you. Because there's different types. There's not just one kind. The way you love your husband is not the way you love your child. It's a different. The way you love your wife is not the way you love your child. You love them, but it's not the same love. The way you love your best friend is not the way you love your child. It's a different type of love. It's important that you know the difference. Hey, okay? Because you can ask somebody, do you love me? And they'll say, yeah, but not in the way you think. And you can tell by the way that they treat you that they don't. You said, mother say, I'm my kid's friend, but no friend will give their life for them. Right. Different types, yes, and many subtypes under those types according to each of the, right, their own experience. Exactly. Everything is deeper than what we think. We just use words and don't really understand the weight that they hold. Right? Pragma is mature, enduring love, grounded in duty, compromise, and long-term commitment. You see? There's Hey, we've been on YouTube. All right, here we go. Um, come on. Seriously? Okay. All right. So if we go back to Psalms 4 really quickly, um, verse 2, we're going back up. So we went through righteous, the sacrifices of the righteous, right? What it means to sacrifice, to follow God's way and his will, right? What you have to give up in order to do that. Okay? But I need y'all to go back up to verse 2 real quick in the NIV, where it says, how long will you people turn my glory into shame? And how long will you love delusions and seek false gods? Y'all see that? Huh? In verse 2, Psalms 4, verse 2, in the NIV. How long will you love delusions and seek false gods? Y'all see that? Yeah. Okay. All right. So everything that we've studied up until now with sacrifices of the righteous puts you in a better situation for your soul and your spirit, right? It helps keep your mind at ease. Everything that we've looked up so far, that we've talked about so far, right? Being kind even when it's inconvenient is going to work out for your good. Going even when you don't understand. Trusting God when you can't see. All of these things end up being better for you. Yes or no? Doing the opposite of having pride ends up working out for you. Because if you're prideful, you're normally about to be real shame here in a minute. Right? Going against your own desires is going against your own natural thoughts. And if we were born in sin and shaped in iniquity, 9 times out of 10, one of the first thoughts that's going to come to your mind is to do the wrong thing. It's going to do what would be prideful or haughty or whatever else that's about to embarrass you real good. Right? Right? Normally, if you go with your first mind, after a certain situation happens, you normally regret what you did. Because we don't take the time to ask God, take that split second instead of saying, yeah, that's what I'm going to do, or that's what I'm going to say, or that's how I'm going to react. We don't say, God, what should I do? But hopefully, now that you're learning and leaning towards being righteous, you don't go to what your mind would do. You try to think of what God would want you to do first. Right? Yeah. Now your thoughts don't immediately go to what you would say or what you would do or how you would act or whatever. You probably, even if you get ready to, you said and put in those words, it's a little embarrassing looking back and reflecting. Listen. Maybe don't I know it. All right, here we go. The definition of delusion is false belief or judgment about external reality held despite incontrovertible, I don't know what's going on, y'all, incontrovertible, evidence to the contrary, as a symptom of serious mental illness. Huh? So a delusion, despite all the evidence that is right in your face, you still gonna choose to believe a lie. And it's considered mental illness. Huh? Did you know? Choosing not to believe the truth is actually mental illness. Choosing not to change your way of thinking is an open door to mental illness, which means God is going to give you a way to think and a way to be and a way to act. And if you don't choose that, you are literally opening the door to only see a twisted reality. Girl, he messed me up, Shaniqua. Let me ask you a question. When God showed you something about your spouse and you didn't believe it, how was your mind after that? God kept showing you in your dreams who they were, what they were doing, and it started to drive you crazy because you chose to believe what your spouse said over what God was showing you in your sleep and what your stomach was telling you. Hello? What did it do to your mind? Did you become more jealous? Did you become more suspicious? Did it take your sleep? Did it take your appetite? You weren't mentally sound after that. Huh? If somebody keep lying to you, you said you gotta stay out of my business though, man. Uh-oh. And you know the truth, and you say, whatever, I'm just gonna leave it, I'm just gonna believe them. Will it eat at you? Do it take your sleep? You said questioning and running scenarios, having to have the proof. Uh-oh. But God already told you the truth while you were asleep. Or you got the truth in your stomach that they wasn't who they said it. And I just use spouse, but what if it's your friend and he keep telling you they not who you think they is? And he keep giving you things and then. Now you got to be on edge every time you're around them. You said you said something and stop talking for over a month. Thank you, Father. Uh-oh. Huh? Hello? It's quiet over there. Never mind. We're going to move on to the next thing. Would you say that in 2026 mental illness is at an all-time high? I did some numbers. In 1970, they had 370,000 institutionalized people in America, with millions being managed at home for mental illness. In 2025, it was 1 billion worldwide. 1 in 8 people had a mental illness in 2025. Could it be, minus the children, well, when they get to a certain age, could it be? Because some of the behavioral issues is because parents allow their children to do whatever they want to do. Not all, but some. Because they don't make them live in reality, then they have outbursts and all of this kind of stuff. So is it really mental illness? You let your child believe they can do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it. That is twisted reality. You tell your child they can have whatever they want, even if somebody else have it, and they can go and take it if they want it. That is twisted reality. Does mental illness follow? What does snapped mean? A man or a woman tell you they don't want you, and you got it in your mind that they still do, you a snap and do something crazy. You'll start trying to ruin the other person's life because you will not believe the reality that that person don't want you. You feel the devil will tell you it is the other person that they are giving their attention to that is in your way as to why you can't have what you want. That's mental illness. They done already showed you with their actions that they don't want you. But it'll cause you to act out of your mind. Tearing up cars, bleaching clothes, calling people job, pulling up at the apartment, beating on the window. Huh? It's mental illness. When you choose not to believe the truth. Then you start to make up your own reality. One in 8 people in America, worldwide, are diagnosed with a mental illness in 20 and 25. Can I show you something? How many times on social media or with the stars have you been disappointed because you believed that a person was one thing and you found out later that they weren't that? They were something completely different. I know someone going through this and I try to help her, but she don't want the help. Oh, I believe it. You said, oh, I just saw that in an anime. The younger sister saw her brother in love with another man, and she went and unalived her brother's love. Wow, my baby daddy had me insane. I did things I thought that I would never. You said I did things that I would have never thought about doing. Oh, you were out of your mind. Oh, okay, interesting. Here we go. Um. All right. So in 1970, there was 370,000 institutionalized people with millions being managed at home. Okay, 1 in 8 people last year, out of 1 in 8 people, was diagnosed with mental illness. Okay. So can y'all go to Matthew 12:43 and 45 for me real quick? Matthew 12, verse 43. In the same versions that we was reading in already. Come on. Now my iPad tripping. Y'all know they be listening so hard. You don't even come on. Goodness gracious. They be listening so hard I can't even do what I need to do over here. Seriously. And this is why I just be using my phone. Hold on, y'all, because this iPad is doing whatever it wants. Now you want to do it. Really? I don't have time. We're moving on. Sorry, y'all. This is the one that would be acting funny anyway. All right. All right, I'm reading the NIV. When an impure spirit comes out of a person, it goes through arid places seeking rest and does not find it. Then it says, I will return to the house I left. And when it arrives, it finds the house unoccupied, swept clean, and put in order. Then it goes and takes with it 7 other spirits. So 8 spirits. It was 1 person. Now it's 9 entities total. Then it goes and takes with it 7 other spirits more wicked than itself. And they go in and live there. And the final condition of the person is worse than the first. That is how it will be with this wicked generation. Huh. So 1 in 8 in 2025 people around the world were dealing, and that's just diagnosed. Okay? But God will come and clean up your life. And the moment that you start to believe in a distorted reality, you open yourself up to 8 beings that were worse than whatever it was that you went through the first time. That's interesting. So when you won't go the way that God wants you to go, when you will not listen, when He is giving you instruction, when you will not turn against what it is that you would normally do, you open the door for mental illness. And every time they come back, they drop in seeds. You don't know how long it's going to take to grow them. You don't know when that seed is going to produce its yield. It could be prime example. How many people have gotten away with cheating so many times, and then the one time they go and they sow a seed, they can't hide that seed because it ain't nobody plucking it out. All the other times the seeds was plucked out. But this time, this garden that you sow the seed into, it's going to let it grow and mature. And eventually, there is going to be a yield. 1 baby, 2 baby, 3 baby, 4. Maybe even something else that is multiplied amongst whoever is a part of the garden and the seed being sown. Huh? What does that do for your mental after that? Now the situation is worse. Now the mental state of all involved is worse because you would not either tell the truth or see the truth. And now you got to recover from something God already told you was going to happen. Huh? You said in the 1930s, if women wanted to leave their husbands, he took her to court and said she was insane and they put her in a mental hospital. I saw that, Nicola. Mm-hmm. You said this my first time. We're not over here no more. I told y'all this a long time ago we was leaving this place. I told y'all a long time ago we was getting off TikTok. I have been saying that for over a year. We still on YouTube though. We just over here because they did something with the permissions. Because I had all the permissions in place to where it would need to let me go live. Anyway, you said had that experience with an ex. The reality he believed to be true was so backwards, telling him my gut feeling to his actions. He got defiant and he would believe a lie and not the truth from me. Okay. Interesting. My 2 questions to you is what's on your mind when you lay down and what is taking your sleep? Because mental illness is your mind ain't at rest. Could it be the reality that you won't accept? My questions to you are what is on your mind when you lay down and what is taking your sleep? Because if it is able to take your sleep and if it's causing you to toss and turn, is it because you're not accepting what's real, the reality? Huh? Delusion again now. It's false belief or judgment about external reality. Huh? Despite incontrovertible, well, I don't know why I can't say that today. Incontrovertible evidence to the contrary as a symptom of serious mental illness. Incontrovertible. I don't know what. Okay. How many times has God told you something and you just didn't listen because you didn't want to believe it and it cost you a lot of sleepless nights? Huh? Huh? How many times did you say, God said leave, job, whatever, and you didn't, and it caused you so much mental stress that you almost didn't make it? You said, yet the outcome of the external world. You said, you are in my business. Last night I slept, walked out of my bed, and I knocked my arm out of socket. That was the way I woke up. You said, that was the way I woke up, was in to that pain. Oh, no. Interesting. Hello. I hope you feel better. So a lot of mental illness right now is because people choose not to see the truth, or they choose not to deal with it. And they choose to go in their own way, seek retaliation, seek revenge, whatever it is, and it just ends up causing them more mental pain. You said, couldn't tell you what I was dreaming about though, but it felt like I had to get up. I believe it. You said, yep, my grandfather had to get a lawyer to prove she was sane and get her out. Interesting. Okay. If God is showing you what it is, believe that. Because choosing to be delusional is only going to cause more chaos and more pain and more mental stress. Accepting what God says it is going to reduce the stress. Learning you can't change people, they got to want to change themselves. Hello. You're welcome, Shada. Listen, it's a thing. Again, our five fruits ties into this. Because you can't put a whole bunch of junk and gas and all of these. I couldn't take plant watermelon and then pour gas over it every day instead of water and think it was going to grow. I couldn't take seeds of corn and lay them in the ground and then spray the ground with bleach instead of water every day. And I would be delusional into thinking because that's not going to nourish the soil, it's going to damage it. How many times do we take things that are toxic to our life and sprinkle it in our life every single day and then be sad because we don't see no growth? And the next year we in the same situation with a different person thinking we about to pour the same bleach on the plant, so it ain't gonna do nothing. Just because you move gardens don't mean nothing. You're still spraying it with stuff that's not gonna cause anything to grow. It's gonna kill it. So you move cities, but you hang out with the same kind of people. You literally seek them out. You said, yep, 2025 was delusion. A lot of people couldn't let go, and so a lot was lost. I'm just saying. Okay? I like what I like. So you like poison. That's what you said. You like pain. You like drama. You like chaos. You like to be stressed out. You like to be confused. You like to be used. Huh? You like to be disappointed. Because when you like what you like and you continue doing the same thing, you only going to get the same results. So then why are you mad that it didn't change? So you can say you already knew. When God already told you, it's just you not believing the reality of what it is. Spinning your wheels, wasting your time and your mental energy. You said, do you believe we have to experience hurt from certain things to grow? Yes. But it don't have to be grueling all the time. A lot of stuff is because we be hard headed. God will tell you what's coming, but how you handle the situation depends on how long you have to stay in it. If you grumbling and complaining and not learning your lesson, you can't go to the next grade. So you just keep repeating the same situations over. And a lot of people, because it's comfortable. Once God gets you out of a situation, I just read it to you. He said, I'm them same spirits is gonna come back. They're just gonna be in a different body and gotta be in start. Normally the trouble don't come until your life start getting back on track. That's what we just read. It said it come and find a house sweet and put together and well kept. After the destruction that came through. And then the same spirits, technically, one of the same spirits was there. But when he come back, he don't come back by himself. So he bring way more trouble, way more chaos, way more sadness, way more, way more, way more. This is why folks unalive others. They don't want to believe it, right? Mm. Okay. So when you understand, excuse me, that sacrificing what you want to do is actually better for you, and it makes you stronger, and it causes less chaos in your life, honey, your life gonna be better. You said hurt is timing. You said, and it don't have to hurt as bad if you prepare yourself. Like when my arm popped out of socket, it don't hurt as bad because I lift weights now versus when I didn't lift weights. Come on. Because there's something there to hold it. But before it would have been, right, just drooping. So the weight, you would have felt the weight of your arm, but because your muscles are strong, exactly, and you trained for things like that. Come on, baby. Okay. Ask God to show you the reality of your situation, and then ask Him to help you believe it and to go through it, whatever it is. Everybody got a situation. You said how you perceive the situation determines the hurt. Yep, the outcome doesn't have to hurt like the condition scenarios we've seen. That part. That part. And we've been on here 3 hours, so I ain't gonna keep y'all. But y'all got y'all fruit homework. Y'all got y'all 5 things that y'all been complaining about. Right? And then asking God to show you what's real so that you're not delusional. Because you can keep trying like a hamster on a hamster wheel. You can be as delusional as you want. I've been on YouTube. Okay. Yeah. Danny said since December we've been on YouTube. And then we got Substack too. So, but all those classes are there. They're all there. And I'm going to let y'all go. I love y'all. If you missed the earlier part of the class, because we did do about 45 minutes or so, I think, on YouTube that's not on this. I love you too. I love y'all. Ask God to show you the reality of what's going on right now, because that's a lot of reason why a lot of folks that's talking about they going to heaven ain't ready for what's getting ready. That's what's happening. Not getting ready, it's happening as we speak. Miss you too. I love y'all. It's 3. We might have a class around 7 or 8. I don't know. It depends on how long my nap take. Because I've been up since early. Y'all niece, hey, woke me up early this morning. She said, Mom, I'm so sorry. And then just started talking. It was still dark in my room because I got them blackout curtains. She said, were you asleep? I was. Okay, well, you're welcome. You know kids don't care. They either call when you get ready to get on the toilet, get in the shower or the tub, or about to take a nap or eat. Let you be doing nothing. They don't call. Soon as you get ready to do something for yourself, paint your toenails, comb your hair, all of a sudden. You said definitely going to rewatch Love You Too. Love y'all too. So get your pen and paper and get to writing. Listen. They still do it, and my kids don't even live here. Now they got the grandkids doing it. Mama! Hi, Grandma. What are you doing? Well, I was minding my business, but your mama didn't taught you how to call me right when I'm getting in the tub, huh? Oh, okay. So y'all starting with the second generation as well. Got it. Everybody at the door. Love you too. I'll see y'all later.